Okay, Shalom, Shalom, it's Brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, the Kadash. I'm probably gonna name this "Don't Lose Your Flame," and that goes into that fire. So I'm sitting here, a couple days after Deontay Wilder had fought. Anybody that's seen that fight or follow boxing, you could clearly see that he lost what the world would call his dog. We would call it his flame. He lost that flame. He ain't got that killer instinct no more. And then he starts to talk about. I'm watching an interview where he's talking about, how he's being treated in Saudi Arabia is better than America because they have structure. I get that. That's what we need to do over here. Is have structure for our people, but we have to get active, right? But he starts to speak about, how his family, which is a blessing, but he had family before, and he had that flame in him, even when he had his family before. What's the difference now with him not having that flame in him no more compared to when he had that flame in him, that fire in him back then? Well, the money. He's a lot richer. After the Tyson Fury fights, you know, he gained a lot of money, life changing money. Then he got to experience what comes with having that much money, the goods of life, the convenience, the abundances of life. And guess what that do? That took away his flame, his fire. You see this in the truth, right? You see this in the truth with brothers. What happens? You first come in the truth. You get out there on the highways and byways. You trying to see what it is. Then you start to get comfortable, right? You want to get out there on the highways and byways. You want to yell as loud as you can. You want to cuss out every Edomite that's walking by. You want to break the truth down to every brother you see that's walking by. You doing 3-4 hours out there on the highways and byways. You going out there twice a week on the highways and byways. You got so much flame and fire in you when you first start. See, Matthew 25, y'all ain't never heard it broke down this way. I'm going to give you a different perspective, which is still the same thing because the truth is the truth. You can't change the truth. The flame, the fire, the lamps. When it talks about the lamps, well, what's in the lamp? The fire, right? Now, when you talk about the fire, you break this down, you talk about the spirit. That's what I'm talking about. The spirit of what, though? But we just call it, some people say that dog in you. When they say that dog in you, they talking about a literal pit bull dog that's inside of you. No, they talking about that flame. When people say that flame, that fire, he got that fire in his eyes. Are they talking about that they seen fire like what's on your screen in your eyes? No, they talking about that spirit, man. And you see it when brothers come in the truth. You on fire. And then the longer things go and nothing's happening really in the world, the end hasn't came. Y'all seen this from my own eyes. People start to lose that fire. Now, this not to say that, your fire gonna go up and down. You're gonna have down periods, man, because you're only human. You're not gonna be on fire all the time. You're gonna have some down times. You're gonna have some up times. You know what I mean? But you just want to keep that flame. Just like if you in the forest and you made a fire. The fire gonna go down a little bit. It's gonna be hot when you first started, then it's gonna decrease, and then you wanna keep that fire alive all the way until the Lord returns, man. And then brothers start to lose that fire. Then they start seeing things happening. War, rumors of wars. Then they try to get that fire back. But just like Deontay Wilder, you're not able to get it back because you didn't fell so away from this. You didn't fell out of love with this truth. This ain't your first love no more. That you kind of, and it's dangerous. This happens for everybody. Everybody has to be aware of this, even myself. And then, where, this happens to me, where shit, years ago, anything that came to my head, I was jotting it down. I'm finna make a video on it. Go to the channel. I got more videos than some of your favorite people in the truth. I got 1,200 videos, probably going on 1,300 videos. Every time something was coming to me, I was doing a breakdown. Any precepts come to mind, I was doing a video on it. But over time, you would get something to your head, but you won't move. You won't go write it down for later. You won't go make a video on it. You will think about it and you will just have, some good thoughts about it, but you won't go make a video on it. That happens. You're going to have ups and downs. But look what I'm doing right now. I'm keeping that flame alive. I'm catching it when the spirit comes to me. That's how that's how I make videos, when the spirit comes to me. Now, when the spirit comes to you, you can act on it. You can get active. or you could just be lazy. You know, it's your choice. And then I seen it with, you know, family members of mine that, you know, back in the 80s, the golden eras of selling drugs, they had that flame in them. They was fuck the white man. They was against him. You know what I mean? They was getting money. This how we. But you see, over time, they then went to jail so many times, got out, went back to jail, got out, went back to jail, lost everything, had to restart. When you go to jail, you lose everything. You come out, you restart. They did that so many times, had to restart so many times. Now you see them on the streets, and they look like what? They You could see that look in their eyes where they had that flame before, but you could see that it left them. It's like an old lion. You could see it like, man, just like our pops and them and our uncles and them. They got names on the streets. You say you so and so. What's your last name? This my last name. Oh, I know your daddy. Oh, your daddy used to be a gangster, man. Your daddy, his name hold weight. Your family name hold weight in these streets. You a so son? Oh, damn. We go through this all the time. And then you will see so and so, and you will see like, man, look, he used to be that man in the 80s. And you still see that look in his face. But when you look deep into his eyes, you see he ain't got that fire no more. The fire that left him. That's what it's talking about right here. Matthew 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. So in here it speaks about the lamps. What's inside the lamps? Fire. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. And they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Oil, that's the spirit, man. You got to have that oil to keep you going, to keep your lamp lit. What do they say in the rap world? I'm lit right now. What is all the rappers doing? They trying to stay. What does it mean when they say they trying to stay lit? They trying to stay relevant. They falling off. They not relevant no more. They not lit no more. That's from the Bible right here. You got to keep that lamp lit. Don't lose your fire. Or let's name it, don't lose your flame. Right? It says, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Right? So what's the oil? Like what the example I gave with myself. Your fire, your lamp it's gonna start. You don't just keep putting oil in the lamp and the lamp just stay lit up as bright as it could get, on fire as much as it can be. No, you start to see that the lamp, the flame starts to diminish. You put more oil in it because you got oil for it. You fill it back up. So it's the same thing. Like, you're going to lose. It's going to be ups and downs in this truth, man. But what am I doing right now? Well, I'm adding oil right now. I'm adding oil to my flame. That's how you do it. Let's keep going. All right. Verse 5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumber and slept. So I keep stopping right there, right? So it's just like me. You get ups and downs, but I got oil. The channel is called Israelite Covenant Oil. I'm giving brothers oil if they will receive it, and myself oil to keep going. Right now, let's keep on verse 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him, because you slept. Which really just represent no man knows the time or the date or the day when the Lord's going to return. You don't know. So who got their candle lit? Who's still lit when the Lord return? When the Lord return, who he going to see out there still bidding them to the marriage? Still on fire, still lit, not lukewarm. Who? And then the guys that was lit, they ain't really lit no more. Now, just going out on the highways and byways and making videos don't mean that you're lit. You could be completely, your lamp could be completely out behind the scenes, your spirit. You don't really believe, but you doing this just in case so you can get salvation. So you still showing up to camp around brothers. You still making videos every now and then. But are you active? Are you really pushing? You're not really lit. I see brothers that just show up to camp because they're a part of a camp. They show up, and then when they gotta do a breakdown, they'll do a breakdown. They put up a video, but they not really pushing their channel. You know what I mean? They not really pushing their channel out there. They do a video every now and then. It is what it is. Fuck it. That's you not being lit no more. You still doing the works because you want to get salvation, but you're not really lit either. I see brothers that used to be downtown New York teaching back to back, taking on all the scoffers in the world. But they didn't move to side corners and side streets. They not lit no more. Why they moved? Because we too old. We can't be down there out there in the middle of that doing that no more. It was getting too hot out there in the kitchen. So we moved. Now we out here. We don't want to deal with you. Keep going down the highway. That could be a sign of not being lit. So being lit, having your candle lit, that's about the spirit, not about just the works that you're doing. Because it could appear one way on the outside, but not be the same in the inside. It says, at midnight there was a cry, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. So what's going to happen? The Lord going to return, he going to see, and he going to make the judge on who's still lit, who has their lamp lit still, and who doesn't. You want to be one of the ones when the Lord returns, you still on fire, you still going hard, you still pushing, you still believe. Not just, I'm doing this just in case. I done heard a lot of Christians say that. Well, we just was following and believing it just in case it was the truth, so we could get saved, so we could get raptured up. A lot of brothers is in here, it's in the truth just in case. They don't really believe. See, me, I done had my trials and tribulations in the truth because I really believe. It wasn't just, I'm just going to go along with the program and get along with the program because just in case I just want to be saved. No, I was really going off what I believe, what I feel, trying to figure it out. Asking the Lord for enlightenment on different things, going through different things, learning processes, growing, not being scared to grow. Well, I got to follow this and I can never go from this because this is what's going to get me salvation. They are afraid to grow. I was allowing myself. I took, when brothers was trying to put ceilings over me, I took those ceilings off of me and said, no, fuck those ceilings. I need to be able to have room to let my wings, grow. Not gonna let you put me in a cage and you put some authority and put a ceiling on me and you tell me when I could do the work of the Lord. Until then stand on the side. Clown, no, I'm finna go. Cause this the only chance you got. I need to be able to grow, man. I need to be able to the spirit to come to me. Not the spirit come to me, but then I gotta check with you on the spirit that came. Come on, man. Let's keep going. Right? Now, verse 8, watch this. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are going out. That's the brothers that got caught up in bickering and arguing and fighting and camp banging and all the bullshit rather than what the Lord commanded us to do, which is fear the Lord and keep his commandments. That got caught up more in the bullshit that was only in this for just in case, that was lukewarm, that was diminishing. When they start to see these things happen, they going to start trying to come back out here. They going to start busting back out on the highways and byways trying to go hard because now they think the end going to come. That's them trying to get that oil back. How do you think that look like in real life? Now watch this. But the wise answer saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. So the wise gonna answer and say, nah, man, we've been out here suffering. We've been out here doing this work, man. We've been out here trying to tell y'all this what you need to focus on. Y'all was worried about all that other shit. Nah, bruh. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. This how I don't understand, bro. Read this Bible, bro, and then go back and read it again with some understanding, man. Eat this row. Yeah, I don't understand. When you eat this row, go on a journey to figure out our Lord, man. Who you dealing with? What type of Lord you dealing with? Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all think a lot of brothers be having that Christian mindset. Well, I just do this and the Lord, he gonna save us. We gonna be the man of the Lord. He gonna forgive us. See, when you got that Christian type of mindset where you think, well, the Lord just gonna forgive you, you can make mistakes. You can make assumptions about brothers, and you could say that a brother is acting like an agent, and you have no proof, not one drop of proof that he is. You could just say it though. See, you not fearing the Lord because you believe that you could just put whatever you want on a brother and say something about a brother, and you not gonna get judged by the Lord because the Lord knows where your heart is at and know that you really trying to follow Him, and the Lord gonna forgive you and save you. You don't know what type of Lord you dealing with, man. Like we said at camp, the Lord killed 70,000 men just for King David trying to number Israel. They dead. They had brutal deaths. They back in the spiritual realm just because what they king tried to do. King Saul didn't listen to the Lord when the Lord told him to kill everything and do what he commanded him to do. King Saul didn't listen to it. He lost his whole kingdom and ended up being killed. And his sons with him. Job was a righteous man. He lost everything. Diseases and shit like that, man, on the brink of death. Man, y'all better know what type of Lord y'all dealing with. Like right here it says, and the door was shut. I don't give a fuck about you crying. The door shut on you. The Lord shutting the door on you, man. This is what Lord you dealing with. So when you understand how brutal the Lord could be, then you understand you ain't got no room to make mistakes. You ain't got no room to be putting shit on brothers, envying brothers, hatred in your heart, bearing false witness, lying, putting shit out there. He could be an agent. You speak. You think before you speak. You would say, look, he could be, but I don't have no facts, so I'm not even gonna never say it out my mouth. And the reason why you have that fear is because you have the fear of the Lord, because the Lord may judge me for it. A lot of people gonna have to answer, man, when the Lord comes. Because right here, verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. So they saying, look, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. So the Lord gonna tell you, look, he don't even know you. You gonna like, man, I was out there doing the work. Man, I know you not. Watch ye therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And you already know about where it says, which is basically the same thing, where they said, look, we done works in your name. The Lord said, I know you not, man. Turn you around. So it's going to be the Lord's choice, and you got to have that fear of the Lord, but you want to keep that fire in you. Like going back to Deontay Wilder, he lost that fire that was in him, man. He lost that. You could tell by the way he fight. He had Joseph Parker in his last fight. He had him hurt a couple times. Usually the old Wilder would have finished him, but he didn't have that fire in him no more. Why Earl Spence get his ass kicked versus Terrence Crawford? Terrence Crawford still got that dog, that meanness, that fire in him. Earl Spence was too rich, man. He living in Dallas. He's crashing Lamborghinis. He's getting drunk at parties. Then he trying to get the flame back. He had the flame before that. Then he got that money. Got to hanging around Yellow Beezy and these rappers and getting famous and getting these women and getting this money, these cars, this jewelry. He's showing up to all the boxing shows with big Cuban link necklaces iced out on his neck. He got that money. And guess what it did? It made him lose his flame. When he was a youngin' and he was coming up and he was fighting everybody coming up, he fought Kell Brook. He had that fire in him. Kell Brook was hitting him with some big shots, but he had that fire. He kept going, and that's what kept him on his feet until he was able to stop Kell Brook. And then he beat many other champions. He had that fire. But when he fought Sean Porter, we noticed, okay, he's slipping a little bit. He won the fight, but it was close. But we seen, okay, he kind of slipping a little. He kind of losing his fire. Got in the car accidents and everything. He came back and did what? He tried to get his fire back, but he couldn't. had some easy little victories, people that didn't even belong in there with him. And then he fought the real deal. Terrence Crawford still got that fire, that meanness, that dog in him. But we seen Earl Spence get his ass whooped because he got too rich. He didn't, and Terrence Crawford rich too, but he was able to. He had what? He had that oil to keep that fire alive in him. Earl Spence lost the fire in him. Now, hopefully, him getting his ass whooped gets that fire back relit in him, and he could come back. Sometime you completely lose your flame. It completely go out. That happened to Brothers in the Truth. They done fell out the truth and came back. It's very hard to do. But some brothers was able to lose their flame completely and restart it. That's a very hard thing to do. I wouldn't bet my salvation on that. I wouldn't risk it. But it didn't happen. So just like in boxing, just like in the world, you gotta stay lit in the truth, man. Not popular or famous. Not none of that type of stuff, but you gotta keep your spirit lit. Meaning that you gotta still believe in this thing and have faith in the truth. You're gonna have low periods, but that's where the oil comes in. That you pour the oil on it and then you backlit. Salvation to the elect, shalom.